To agenda item 11, which is mayor's comments. I don't have anything today. I know that probably Councilman Whithalter will have something, as well as I know Mr. Barton will have something, as well as Mr. Tanner. Okay. I'll turn it over to, I've got a bunch of lights on. I'll go with Councilman Rapson first, then Councilman Littman, and then to Councilman Whithalter.
I don't know what I got first, but just a real quick executive summary from the LBCBA, just to give people some insight and perspective. Mesquite's visitor volume for the month of July was up 1.3%. In Las Vegas in general, it was only up 0.8%. In Laughlin, it was down 7.8%. So that's quite a positive sign. They're not all positive, but that's a good one. For the year, we're up 4.6 in visitor volume percent. The city, or Las Vegas, in general is up 2%. Laughlin's down 8.4%. ADR is up. Is down 3.4%, and it's up in Las Vegas. Gaming is down 2.5%. Gross gaming win, and down only 0.5% in Vegas, or in Laughlin. So I guess these numbers are all over the place, but the point is we're getting more people here, which is a good thing. They appear to be spending less. That's a bad thing, but we're trending up, and the ADR is actually flat this month, so that's a good thing too for the hotel. But anyway, that's the latest and greatest.
Thank you, Councilman Rapson. Councilman Littman.
Thank you, Mayor. On September 21st, Friday, coming up very shortly at 4 p.m. at the Mesquite Veterans Center, we're going to be having a National Day of Recognition, POW MIA Day. This ceremony has been conducted in the United States since 1979, and now that we have a Veterans Center, we're stepping up to the plate for that activity. So again, September 21st at 4 p.m. at the Mesquite Veterans Center will be National POW MIA Day and a ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Littman. Councilman Whithalter.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is going to be very brief. I just would like to let the citizens know that this past Saturday at Falcon Ridge, we had our first inaugural Little League benefit tournament, golf tournament, and it turned out to be a pretty resounding success. I don't have facts and figures yet because we're still paying bills and trying to balance the books, but I will have a further report. But I want to thank everybody that came out. I want to thank Brian and his staff and everybody that participated. Barbara for her, she's going to take me to dinner. She wanted closest to the pin on number 5, and it was dinner for 2 at Gregory's, and she promised to take me to dinner with supervision of our respective spouses. But anyway, thanks for everybody for participating. We're well on the road to glory. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman. Mr. Barton.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to turn this over to Bill Tanner, our Public Works Director. He has a report on the storm damage for today, and also a report on the dike breaking in Santa Clara.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Tanner.
Mayor and members of the council, right now the reservoir that has broken in Santa Clara, we've been notified by Regional Flood Control District that will only increase our flows in the Virgin River to about 10,000 CFS. Our flood stage right now is above 30,000 CFS, so that'll put us 1/3 of our limited capacity. So I don't think there's any issues or danger with that reservoir that's breached in the Santa Clara area. As far as the rain and the event that we had today, we didn't see a lot of permanent damage, only a lot of cleanup. So generally we'll have a lot of cost involved in repairing or making major modifications to roadway, curb gutter, and sidewalk. So I think we fared a lot better in this event than we did in the August 22nd event. However, there was a lot of debris on the roads.
Thank you, Mr. Tanner. Any questions from Mr. Tanner? Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and close agenda item 12, moving to agenda item 13, which is consideration of a tentative map, case number TM12002, Prominent Subdivision Unit 1, Phase 1B, containing 63 single-family lots and 5 common elements on 14.05 acres, 4.48 units per acre in the planned unit development single-family residential PUD SF zoning district, located generally at the intersection of Flat Top Mesa Drive and Prominence Lane in the Anthem at Mesquite PUD. Mr. Willis.
John Willis, City of Mesquite. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. The applicant is proposing a 63 single-family, 5 common element lots in the Anthem Mesquite PUD. Previously, the City Council approved a tentative map for this land, which included 41 single-family lots. The applicant is proposing to add 22 lots by reconfiguring streets and reducing lot size. And staff is recommending approval, and we're available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Willis. Any questions for Mr. Willis? Mr. Rapson, is that a question?
Nope. Nope.
Councilman Rapson, any questions from council? If not, we'll seek a motion from Councilman Rapson then.
I move to approve the tentative map case number TM12-002, subject to staff recommendations and standard conditions.
Councilman Hafen. We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. That motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 14 is consideration of abandonment case number AB12-001, Dollar General, to vacate and abandon 2 sewer easements on the property located at 342 West Mesquite Boulevard, located in the general commercial zone, CR2 zone, with possible action. Mr. Willis.
John Willis, City of Mesquite. The desired outcome of this application is to remove the 2 sewer easements located on the property. The existing sewer easements run from east to west, and they're being proposed to be abandoned. The other one is located north to south. No existing utilities are located in either one of those easements, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Willis. Any questions, council? Got lights. Are those for questions or to make motions? Go ahead, Councilman Litton.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve abandonment case number AB-12-001, subject to staff recommendations and standard conditions.
Thank you. Councilman Hafen.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 15 is consideration of a variance, case number V-12-001, Dollar General, to reduce required parking from 45 stalls to 29 stalls at 342 West Mesquite Boulevard in the general commercial zone, CR2 zone. Mr. Sawyer. Oh, I'm sorry, it says Mr. Sawyer. Go ahead, Mr. Seacrest.
Mayor, members of the City Council, Faith Development LLC wants to build a Dollar General store on the vacant lot at 342 West Mesquite Boulevard. In order to make the site development plan work, they're seeking a variance of the required parking stalls from 45 spaces to 29 spaces. The variance is requested due to the narrow frontage and shape of the property shown on the submitted site plan. Staff's recommendation is to open the public hearing, comment, and approve the variance case as explained.
Thank you. I'm not showing a public hearing on this, Ms. Hunt, but we certainly will open it. Councilman Withelder, do you have a comment?
I've got a question for Mr. Seacrest when it's appropriate.
Okay, we'll open the public hearing first and then go. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing then on agenda item number 15.
Hello, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. My name is Mike Russell. I'm with Faith Development, and I just wanted to let everyone know we are looking for the parking variance. Normal prototypical site plans actually consist of around 30 parking stalls, 30 to 32. We have done site plans in the past, 27, 28, and 29, so they are out there. This is nothing new with something that's actually been built already. Normally, Dollar General does not occupy all their space at any time, so unless there's a parade going down Mesquite Boulevard or something of that nature, these, even with 29 spaces, should have plenty. So.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and go to Councilman Withelder.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Seacrest, I just want to make sure that that's all conforming and that that's not going to affect anything that's in the general plan or whatever with the variance in the parking. Is that accurate?
That's correct, Councilman. We feel like it's consistent with the general plan, and it's justified based on the conditions on site, with the easement, the limitations there, the narrow frontage of the property. There's several factors that come into play, and frankly, we think the existing parking requirement is too high. In any case, we are supporting the variant.
Thank you, and I support.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Rapson.
Two things. One, I want to thank staff. That's a very complete package, and for Faith Development also, it's comparative to several other their stores in other cities. Second thing is, I've been on this rodeo before with parking on a development agreement, and it was a nightmare. And frankly, I think we, as Mr. Seacrest stated, that our restrictions are fairly onerous. I think this is fair. I think this is a good compromise, and I think it's a good thing. And that's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Hafen.
I just want to echo the statements of Councilman Rapson. I think appreciate staff for hearing the applicant and their desire to reduce the parking. I think we encourage that more in the future with business adventures that come in, and just appreciate that we worked a solution that works, and ready to make a motion if there's no more comments.
Thank you. Let me check it for any more comments. Any more comments from council? If not, Councilman Hafen.
I move that we approve variance case number B-12-001, subject to staff recommendations and standard conditions.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 16 is consideration of a conditional use permit, case number CUP12-002, Mesquite Trading Post, to allow the relocation of a pawn shop to 424 Riverside Road in the general commercial CR2 zone with possible action. Is this also going to be Mr. Seacrest? Mr. Seacrest.
Mayor, members of the City Council, Mesquite Trading Post Pawn Shop wants to move from their current location at Town and Country Village Plaza, 424 Riverside in the Riverside Commercial Center. The pawn shop has operated their current location since October 26, 2010, when the City Council approved conditional use permit number CUP 10-006. We recommend approval of the conditional use permit. They comply with the distance separation requirements from other pawn shops and from residential zones, and we recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Seacrest. Any questions from council to staff or to the applicant? Seeing none, we'll seek a motion. Councilman Rapson.
Move to approve the conditional use permit case number CUP 12-002, subject to staff recommendations and standard conditions.
Councilman Hafen.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. That motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Agenda item 17 is consideration of approval of a settlement agreement in the matter entitled Lincoln County versus City of Mesquite and C&O Holding LLC, 7th Judicial District, case number CV 1250010, with possible action. Ms. Hunt.
Thank you, Council Mayor. As the history, at the request of the petitioner, C&O Holdings, the City of Mesquite considered and passed an ordinance on November 9th, 2010. And in this ordinance, the city agreed to annex some property for C&O Holdings, but the land lies within Lincoln County. And then on January 11th, 2011, the city also annexed further land that is also in Lincoln County into the city. In December 2010, Lincoln County commenced civil litigation contesting the annexation of C&O Holdings property into the City of Mesquite. And the parties that are in the litigation have engaged in settlement talks, and the parties have reached a settlement agreement, which is before you tonight. Part of that settlement agreement, and as you'll notice, C&O Holdings manager has signed the agreement. They are in agreement. They weren't able to be here tonight because of the problems in Las Vegas with weather. So, but they are in agreement. They called to make sure that it was going to be on tonight, and it's my understanding that Lincoln County has already approved the settlement agreement. As part of this agreement, if the council approves it tonight, there will be, C&O Holdings will petition the city to de-annex the property that's been annexed. And the litigation will be completed. It will end after that's taken care of.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hunt. Any questions from council to staff? I see no lights, so we'll seek a motion. Councilman Hafen.
Mayor, we're going to get the horse and the cart where they need to be. I move that we approve approval of the settlement agreement in the matter entitled Lincoln County versus City of Mesquite and C&O Holdings LLC, 7th Judicial District, case numbers CV 1250010.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 18 is consideration of approval of assignment of effluent reuse agreement from Falcon Ridge Investment LLC, a Nevada limited liability company, to Z Golf LLC, a Utah limited liability company, with possible action. Mr. Tanner.
Mayor, members of the council, this is simply a reassignment or reuse agreement between Falcon Ridge Golf Course and Z Golf. It is in the agreement that anyone that would have future assignments of that agreement, that it come back before the council. Simply a reassignment agreement for the new owners of the golf course.
Thank you, Mr. Tanner. Any questions from council? Seeing none, seek a motion from Councilman Rapson.
I move to grant assignment of the Falcon Ridge Golf Course affluent reuse agreement from Falcon Ridge Investment LLC to Z Golf LLC.
Councilman Littman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Agenda item 19 is consideration of introduction of bill number 461, an ordinance of the City of Mesquite, Nevada, amending Title VII of the Mesquite Municipal Code, Building and Development, Chapter 1, Building and Related Codes, Section 4, Energy Conservation Code, by adopting the 2009 edition of the International Energy Conservation Code, regulating and governing energy efficient building envelopes and installation of energy efficient mechanical, lighting, and power systems in the City of Mesquite, providing for the issuance of permits and collection of fees therefore, and other matters properly related thereto. Mr. Sawyer, or is this yours, Mr. Seacrest? Okay.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this needs to be read by short title, which you've just done. Needs to be have a date set for a public hearing on it. Also, I believe that we have emailed you some information that Councilman Haven asked for. If you need any more information, just let me know.
Thank you. Ms. Hunt, is it appropriate for us to question, or do we just need to go for the motion? Okay. We'll go ahead and then seek a motion.
Mayor.
Go ahead.
I believe Councilman Rapson needs to make a disclosure.
Okay, go
before
ahead. Councilman Rapson.
Read a prepared statement. Can't remember this long. Your Honor, Nevada Revised Statute 2818.420 requires me to disclose a possible conflict of interest. I'm a licensed real estate broker salesman, and my profession is selling real estate, both new and resale. I work for a developer on a site selling new homes as well as selling other developers' new homes and resales. I work on a commission based on the price of sold homes. Whether the ordinance passes or not, it will not change my compensation. I will continue to sell homes, both older and new ones, not affected by this ordinance for all builders. Basically, I will continue to do what I do now irrespective of the outcome of this issue and will not impact my compensation in any form. I conclude that the independence of judgment is of a reasonable person in my situation would not be materially affected by this relationship, and because it is not a clear case of disqualifying conflict of interest, I'm going to vote in this matter. And you all get to hear this again at the next meeting.
Thank you, Councilman Rapson. Councilman Withelber.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I guess I must particularly make the same disclosure. I am a real estate broker in the city of Mesquite. Mr. Rapson and I work together under the same banner. I am not materially affected one way or another by the outcome of the vote on this. We are paid by the commission only and therefore had no fiduciary interest in this whatsoever, so therefore I must make that disclosure. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Withelber. With that being taken care of, we'll seek a motion to introduce ordinance 461 and for public hearing and adoption. Councilman Haven.
Mayor, I move to introduce ordinance 461 and place it on the next council agenda for public hearing and adoption.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 20 is consideration of adoption of bill number 462 as ordinance number 462, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Mesquite, Nevada, amending Title V of the Mesquite Municipal Code, Police Regulations, Chapter 3, Minors, Section 4, Liability of Parents, Guardians for destruction of property by minors and other matters properly related thereto. Ms. Hunt.
Wrong button, sorry. Thank you, Mayor and Council. This proposed ordinance has been updated to reflect state law, which establishes that a delinquent minor, the child's parent or guardian, or both, may be required to provide restitution to a victim of an unlawful act committed by the child. The ordinance, we also put in there, it further warns that a victim awarded restitution may also pursue civil litigation to recover damages incurred as a result of the unlawful act.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing then on agenda item 20. Seeing no public comment, we'll close the public hearing. And any questions from council to Ms. Hunt or staff? Seeing no questions, Councilman Rapson.
Yeah, since I have a vested interest in this one, I will move to adopt bill number 462 as ordinance number 462.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Agenda item 21 is consideration of introduction of bill number 466, an ordinance of the City Council of Mesquite, Nevada, amending Title IX of the Mesquite Municipal Code entitled Unified Development Code, by amending Chapter 9-7M-2, Commercial Neighborhood CR1, and 9-7-6, Table 9-7-2, to add provisions to allow residential uses in specified commercial zoning districts and other matters properly related thereto. Mr. Willis.
Joe Willis, City of Mesquite, Evening Mayor, City Council. As part of the city's continued effort to improve the Mesquite Municipal Code, staff is proposing to add existing residential uses to commercial zoning districts. The proposed amendment would permit existing residential uses in commercial zoning districts, thus allowing them to expand, rebuild, and destroy. Staff recommends that the City Council introduce Bill 466, read by short title, set public hearing and consideration of adoption for September 25th, 2012, 5 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Willis. Mr. Withelder, do you want to make that motion?
No, Your Honor, but I would like to make the disclosure, as I made previously with the real estate related item, that I am in that industry, and hopefully that it will not affect any decisions that I might make, because again, I have no fiduciary duty in this. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Gustavson.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. I will go ahead and make a motion. I move that the City Council introduce Bill number 466, read by short title, set public hearing, and consideration adoption for September 25th, 2012 at 5 p.m.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 22 is public comment. Those wishing to make public comment, please step forward, state your name. Remember, we do have a 3-minute limit. Seeing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you.